Okay, so we have started with the JPEG, that is the image compression method. In this JPEG, you have already studied that this is a lossy compression technique. Okay, image is getting compressed, but there are some data which are getting discarded, or the unwanted data is getting discarded. Okay, so that is a joint photographic experts group, and it is governed by the ISO, that is in the standard organization, international standard organization. So when you talk about the JPEG, okay, when you talk about the baseline JPEG, this is a baseline JPEG, means this is a basic JPEG. So whenever you talk about the JPEG, you have understood that this is a lossy. Why they are lossy? Because of the main reason that we are using in the process of compression, we are using the quantization. And you have understood in the quantization, we are actually bringing down to the approximated value, the near value. Okay, we are bringing down the values to the near approximated value. So in that case, I have told you the data is lost. I have told you the data is lost. So when the data is lost, you can say that it will come under the lossy compression. Okay, it will come under the lossy compression. So we are also using the DCT, that is the discrete cosine transform. We are using the DCT, that is the discrete cosine transform. Actually, in the DCT also, some of the data is getting unwanted data is getting removed. Okay, so I have told you that we actually go with the compression where the data is getting lost or the data is getting discarded, the unwanted data. That's why it is a lossy compression. Okay, we are compromising with the quality. When the data is lost, we are compromising with the quality. Now that's why the ISO, that is International Standard Organization, have thought of making some other standard. Okay, so JPEG, when you talk about the pure JPEG or the basic JPEG, or this is called as a baseline JPEG. Okay, then we have evolved with the two more standards. The two standards are called as JPEG LS, and the other one is called as JPEG 2000. Okay, so these are the two standards we have, JPEG LS and JPEG 2000. So today we are going to talk about these two particular standards. So there are some drawbacks. To overcome that drawback, we have gone with this JPEG LS. Okay, so in the question also, they won't be asking you everything into the detail. They are giving you in each of, if you see the books also, they are just given the overview. They have just given the overview to understand the JPEG, the advantages and disadvantages of JPEG LS with JPEG 2000. You can have comparison. You can have different comparison between these three standards. Okay, so they have started with JPEG. They have found out that it is a lossy. They have gone with the JPEG LS now. Now JPEG LS stands for lossless. JPEG LS stands for lossless. It stands for lossless. But if you remember, I have told you the image is getting converted into text or into the binaries ones and zeros. Okay, so somewhere whenever you talk about the text or the binary ones and zeros, we go with the lossless compression. We go with the lossless compression. Okay, like we have seen in the entropy encoding, you can go with the Huffman coding. If you want, you can go with the arithmetic coding also. So whatever the entropy encoder we have seen, in the entropy encoder, we can go with any of this encoding method. Okay, any of this encoding method. So the image getting converted into the text or ones and zeros. So image, when it is converted, you go with the lossy compression. But in the encoding of the text, then it is a lossless. Okay, so it is a mixture of lossy and lossless. But as far as JPEG is concerned, it will come under the lossy. So how do you overcome that problem? We have overcome that problem in the JPEG LS. Okay, so LS stands for lossless. So what exactly is done in this JPEG, which is not there in the JPEG? Okay, and in the JPEG LS, there are some drawbacks or so there are some limitations. How do you overcome that? And we go with this JPEG 2000. Okay, so there are few differences. Okay, it depends upon what is your requirement. If you do not want to compromise with the quality, if you want that my file size should be very less, I can compromise with the quality, then you can choose any of the standards. You can use any of the standards. So, but we should know what is JPEG LS, what is JPEG 2000. So we have a specific block diagram to understand each and everything. So whenever you talk about JPEG LS now, we'll start with JPEG LS, then we'll go with JPEG 2000. Okay, so we are done with JPEG now. We'll go with the JPEG LS. Now, whenever you talk about JPEG LS, you have to understand that this is a standard given by ISO, that is International Standard Organization. Okay, and for the lossless compression of continuous tone images. So you have to understand this continuous tone images. So JPEG LS is mostly preferred. If I want to go with the lossless, then it is more preferred over the image which is continuous in tone images, continuous tone images. What does it mean? What does it mean? For example, again, I will give an example. Suppose I am standing on the beach. Okay, if I'm taking my own photo, if I'm taking my selfie, okay, you will see in the pic, I will be main person who will be highlighted. Now, besides me, there is a seashore, and along with the seashore, you will also see the sky. Now, what do you mean by continuous tone images? What do you mean by continuous tone image? Okay. Now, if you see my image in that particular pic, the color may vary. The color may vary. The t-shirt which I am wearing, the pant which I am wearing. Okay. So there is a drastic change in the color. There is a drastic change in the color. But if you check the background, the color of the sky, okay, if it is not cloudy, it is not a cloudy sky, it is there is no clouds, okay, you will see the plain image of the sky. So can I say the plain image of the sky is nothing but a continuous tone image? Okay, there is a continuous tone image. So continuous tone image is the image in which there is no drastic change in the color. There are no drastic change in the color. Similarly, if you take the peak of the sea, okay, it is also continuous unless and until there is no one at the sea. Only myself, sea, as well as along with my peak, there is sky. Okay, so sky is a continuous tone image. The sea is a continuous tone image. Myself, there is a drastic change. Okay, if I'm wearing blue t-shirt and black pant, so there is a contrast. Okay, there is a continuous variation in the image. So whenever there are images which is a continuous tone, okay, you have to understand this is important. Continuous is important. Whenever the images are of the continuous tone, in that case, just a minute, just hold on. Okay, sorry. You know, there is a course going on for our faculties also, which is compulsory, mandated to be attended. So, yeah, the course is going on. I have started on the cell phone, and after a few minutes, they are asking for the poll. So I have to be very attentive because I have kept my cell phone also in front of me, as well as I'm teaching you. So this is the course we started from day before yesterday, and it is mandatory for us. It is the course related with the human values and ethics. Okay. So that's why sometimes I may require to go for giving the response for the polls. Okay. So I was talking about this continuous tone image. So whenever you talk about the continuous tone image, you will definitely get the lossless compression when you use JPEG LS. When you use JPEG LS. So obviously, when you go with the JPEG LS, it is always preferred that the image should be of continuous tone image. The image should be a continuous tone. Okay, that is more preferred. Now, whenever you talk about this continuous tone image, okay, continuous tone image. So this continuous tone image, we have to see the image and we have to identify which is the continuous in nature. Okay, so we have to identify in the image which are the images or the particular area where the tone is continuous, Okay, so JPEG is more preferred for the continuous tone image. This important thing you have to understand. And keeping this thing in the mind, ISO invented JPEG LS so that I could achieve the compression. Okay, I should achieve the compression without losing the data. That is why it is called as LS, that is loss. Okay, we'll see in this what actually is happening in the LS. Okay, before we go with the block diagram, of this, we have to understand that what particular techniques are used in this particular JPEG LS, which is not used in the JPEG, that is baseline JPEG. Okay, now the first thing is that we are not using the DCT. We do not use the DCT in this. Okay, we do not use the DCT in this. So this is hence, if you are not using the DCT, we can say it is a lossless. Okay, because in the DCT we see that somewhere in the quantization. Okay, somewhere in the quantization, because quantization also plays an important role when you go with the compression. In DCT also we have seen that we are using the formulas, and somewhere we are bringing down the higher frequency to the lower frequencies. So some of the data is getting discarded. So we are not using the DCT in this. We are not using the DCT or this transform technique in this JPEG LS. Okay, so this is the important thing. Even in this JPEG, we are using the entropy encoder. So whenever you talk about the entropy encoder, so this is in general I'm talking about, but this entropy encoder can be Huffman coding. I have told you it can be Huffman coding. It can be arithmetic coding. Okay, so there are many ways of coding. There are many ways in which you use the coding. The same coding which you have used in the text compression. Okay, so you can go with Huffman coding. You can go with the arithmetic coding. So in this particular JPEG LS, we do not use the arithmetic coding. Okay, that means you can go with the Huffman coding. In JPEG, in the JPEG, I have told you you can go either with Huffman, you can go either with the arithmetic. Okay, but in this purely we do not go with the arithmetic coding. Other than arithmetic coding, you can go with the Huffman coding. Okay, so remember, whenever you use the Huffman coding, you are actually using the probability. And when do you use the probability? We use the probability depending upon the occurrence of the particular the content. Okay, that's why I have told you probability when I talk about. Okay, I have explained you about this Huffman coding when I was talking about the text compression. In the text compression, I have told you we will see each and every letter, and we will see the frequency or the occurrence of that particular letter, and depending upon that we will be deciding the probability. Okay, the probability, the frequency or the occurrence of that particular letter in a given word. Okay, so please try to understand and correlate this Huffman coding or with the probability with a continuous tone image. So if this is the image, okay, and if this is a person who is standing, then this is the sea and this is the clear sky. This is a clear sky. Okay, now can I say this clear sky, this much area is of a continuous image tone? So can I say the occurrence of this particular spot, the probability will be maximum for this. Okay, so Huffman coding is mostly used so that it is more properly implemented in the continuous tone, color tone images or continuous tone images. Okay, so probability is an important thing. Okay, so we do not use the arithmetic coding. We go with the other than arithmetic coding in this JPEG LS. Okay, and the third important thing, as in this JPEG we have used the quantization. That's why we are having the lossy compression. Okay, in this particular JPEG LS, we are not using quantization. Even if the quantization is used, it is restricted or it is with little bit amount. Okay, that quantization, we are using the quantization in LS, but in a restricted way. Okay, we are using this in the restricted way. So quantization, we cannot say that we are not completely using that. Yes, if you are using in the LS method, then it will be used in the restricted manner. Okay, so these are the some important features, okay, or you can say this is a comparison of the JPEG LS with the JPEG baseline. Okay, now with this understanding, now we are going to understand JPEG LS, the image format, and how they are converted into the particular, or how they are compressed. Okay, so for that I need to show you the I need to share my screen. I will be explaining you that through the PPT. I will be explaining you that through the PPT. Is my screen visible to everyone?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So JPEG LS. So please pay attention. Whatever I have explained you. Just a minute. There is one poll going on. Yes. Okay. So pay attention. Now, whatever I explained you till now on the board, that thing is available on the screen now in the slide. So lossless JPEG is inefficient. So I'm talking about the JPEG baseline, that the basic JPEG. Okay, it's a lossless is inefficient. Now lossless, they have told this is only because JPEG, because of quantization, we achieve the we are compromising with the quality because some of the unwanted data is discarded. Okay, so even though it will be said as a JPEG lossless. Okay, because I have told you we are using the encoding. Okay, so the image is converted into ones and zeros, and then we go with the compression method, which we already studied in the text compression. Okay, so lossless JPEG difficult to implement. So these are the two drawbacks you can say. So this can be used as a two drawbacks for the JPEG basic JPEG. So lossless JPEG is inefficient. Lossless JPEG is difficult to implement. So ISO standard. So I have told you that ISO standard has given this JPEG LS. So another compression for continuous stone image. So this is important. Okay. So I was talking about this continuous stone image. Okay. So you have to be more specific for this. Okay. So
Excuse me, sir.
yes.
Sir, your video is off, so we can't see the whiteboard if you're teaching on the whiteboard.
Are you able to see my slide on the screen? Are you able to see my screen on this one?
Yes,
Slide.
sir.
Yes, sir. Sorry, I had pinned your video
Okay,
for the whiteboard.
Okay. So please see the fourth point, another compression for continuous. So here important thing is you should know that I am talking about the continuous one. Okay, so this is a continuous stone images. So provides near lossless. Now this is also important. I cannot guarantee that I will be having the lossless compression as far as JPEG LS is concerned, but I can go with the near lossless. Okay, so JPEG LS is not purely lossless, but I can achieve near lossless compression. Okay, that is the meaning. Simple and faster than JPEG. Simple and faster than JPEG. So please have these bullet points as a difference between the JPEG and JPEG LS. Okay, so these are the few important points. So we should know. So when you go with these questions can be asked in the Viva also. And if question is asked to give you the differences between the JPEG and JPEG LS, you can put up these points. Okay. Then it does not uses DCT. Already I have told you. It does not uses DCT, arithmetic coding, and uses quantization in limited way. So I have told you quantization is there. That's why we are achieving near lossless. We are achieving near lossless. We are not achieving pure lossless. Okay. because if quantization is used, it will be used in a limited manner. It will be used in a limited manner. Okay. Then the next one. Yes, this is important now. Outline I can say this is a working principle. Okay, it is a working principle. So before we go with the working principle, okay, let me tell you this particular figure. Please, all of you pay attention to this. All of you pay attention to this particular figure. Okay, now you can see there are the blocks which are in the orange color, that is A, C, D, B and D. There is one block which is in the yellow color, and the Y and Z block which is in the light blue color. Okay, so A, C, B, D orange, X yellow, Y and Z is in the blue color. Okay, now what are this particular example I'm talking about? Okay, now you can assume that these blocks, all these blocks are nothing but the pixels. They are the pixels. Okay, now these pixels are compressed. A, C, B, D, they are already compressed. The pixel which is currently being compressed is X. And after X, Y and Z, these are the two pixels which will be compressed after compressing X. So can I say the scenario that A, C, B, D are the compressed pixel, that is, this is my past. Currently, this is my context pixel, that is X, and future pixels which will be compressed will be Y and Z. So with this understanding, we are going to understand what is JPEG LS. Okay, what is JPEG LS? Now please go to the previous slide now. Yes, see here. Now this is a working principle of the JPEG LS. It examines several of the previously seen neighbors of the current pixel, context of pixel. Now remember, context of pixel is X. So context of pixel, just a minute, there is one more poll again. Okay, so here context pixel will be your X. Okay, the context pixel will be your X. Now the neighboring pixels, it will be given as neighboring pixels will be these A, C, B and D. So these are the neighboring pixels, A, C, B and D. These are the neighboring pixels. So with these neighboring pixels and the context pixels, what is actually the working principle? What is actually the working principle? We will see in this. Okay. So what they are saying that it examines several of the previously seen neighbors of the current pixel, that is the context of pixel. So here previously seen pixels will be A, B, C, A, B, C, D, A, B, C, D, previously seen. Okay. Uses context to predict the pixel and to select probability distribution. Okay, now what they are doing, that they are going to see the different neighboring pixels A, B, C, D. With this, now this context pixel has to be now compressed. Now by looking at the neighboring pixels, okay, so examine several of the previously seen neighbors of the current pixel, now uses them as the context of the pixel. Now these neighbors will be used as a context for this X pixel. So if I want to compress X, if I want to compress this X, I have to see the neighbors which already have been compressed. Okay, and after examining this, what is going to happen? Uses the context to predict the pixel. Okay, this thing is this. Uses context to predict the pixel and to select the probability distribution. Okay, now after looking at this pixel, now you have to imagine the example which I have given to you. Okay, you assume that this is an image where you will be only seeing the sky. You will be able to see only the sky. Now A, C, B, D are compressed. Now looking at this particular compressed image, I can predict something about X. The X can be also the one of them. It can be also one of them, because I'm talking about the continuous tone image. I'm talking about the continuous tone image. So it might happen that this X can be also the same as A, B, C, D. It can be same as A, B, C, D. So I say I can predict the value of pixel for this X. I can predict. Okay. So prediction of this particular X with context to the neighbor pixel is the working principle of JPEG-LS. Okay. So after you compress X, the next will be Y. Again, you see the neighbors will be A, B, C, D, and X. Now looking at these ABCDX pixel values, compressed values, I can predict the image of Y. So that prediction may be right or wrong. That is a different thing, but I can predict. It can be because it is near to X, it is near to D. So obviously, this particular pixel will have the same value for ABCDX, because I am talking about the continuous tone images. So the prediction may be always 99.99%. The prediction is always right, and sometimes 0.001% or 0.01% the prediction may go wrong. Okay, but the wrong prediction, uska probability both kam hai, because it is a continuous image tone. Okay, so that thing is happening here. That is, we are using the probability distribution. So we are not going to into the detail of this. Okay, so we are just understanding that by looking at the neighbor pixels values, we can predict the current pixel. We can predict the current pixel. Okay, so uses that distribution to encode the prediction error. Now prediction error is what I have just now told you. Now prediction can go wrong or it can be right. I have told you the prediction always go right 99.99%. Okay, and that remaining percent you have an error. So that is called as a prediction error. Okay, so uses that distribution to encode the prediction error. The prediction error can be zero, or it can be if the prediction error is zero, that means whatever you have predicted, that is exactly what is the neighbor pixel. And if there is error 0.001, that means there is error, and that is getting compensated by using the Goolam code. So there is a code called as a Goolam code. So this Goolam code is not explicitly mentioned in any of the book. Okay, you do not bother about this Goolam code is what. Okay, so they have just given that you have to use the special Goolam code whenever you have a prediction error. Okay, that is the meaning of this. Okay, now see the last point. It also uses run mode to encode pixels. It also uses run mode to encode pixels. Now this is important, run mode. So this thing I will explain you on the whiteboard. Okay, run mode is what? Okay, but let me go to the next slide. See here now this point, encode examines the context pixels and decide whether to encode current pixel with regular mode or run mode. Now we are going to see what is a regular mode and run mode. Running length code already we have studied. I'm going to explain you once about the run mode. Okay, so what they have said that the encode, once you have seen the prediction error, then the next thing is that encoder will examine the context pixels and decide whether to encode current pixel with regular mode or run mode. So you have encoding happening either by using regular mode or run mode. So we are going to see what is regular mode and run mode. Okay, context used to predict current pixel X are shown below. So this is what I have explained. So this is a current pixel, okay, X, and these are the neighbor pixels, and these are the future pixels which are yet to be encoded or compressed. Okay, so see what is the run mode now. Run mode, already I have explained you about the run mode. If you remember, okay, we are going to see this, what is a run mode. This is called as a run length mode also. So instead of showing you on this particular slide, I will show you on this whiteboard. Okay, just a minute. Yes, are you able to see the slide as well as my whiteboard?
So slide is visible, whiteboard isn't.
Okay, whiteboard is not visible. Okay, wait.
So whiteboard is also
Sir,
visible. We
whiteboard.
just have
Yes,
to
sir.
unpin the slide.
Achha, you need to pin to my this one, na? Then you will be able to
Yes, sir.
see. Okay, okay. Everyone should be able to see the slide. Along with the slide, you should be able to see the whiteboard. Okay. Now we'll see about the run code. We will see about the run code. Then we'll go with the regular mode. Okay. Run mode and regular mode. Now this is the decision taken by the encoder, whether after looking at the context pixel, whether I should go with the run length coding or I should go with the regular coding. So what do you mean by run length code? That thing already I've explained you. Okay. So for example, I will take an example. Suppose I'm having these bits or binary numbers. Suppose I'm having 0 0 0 0 0 0 0, then 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1, then again 0. Okay. So if these are the bits available to me. So how in the run length already I've explained you. Once I can see. So whenever I'm having this, so it is 1 2 3 4 5 6 7. So I have 7 zeros. So it is 0 colon 7. How many ones? 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11. So 11 ones. 11 ones. And how many zeros? 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10. So 10 zeros. So zeros 10. Zeros 10. So can I say these are the sequence? These are the sequence of run, sequence of runs. So this is a sequence given to me, and the sequence of runs is zeros, 7 zeros, 11 ones, and 10 zeros. Now when you this is happening, this is I'm explaining you for run mode. This is I am explaining you with the run mode now. 1 minute. Yes. So this is the sequence of run. I am explaining about the run mode. Now this sequence you can convert it into the representation. You can represent this representation in binaries. In the binaries, how will you represent this into binaries? The representation in the 5-bit binaries will be here. In 5 bits binary, it will be how? Now this 0, I will be writing down 0. Now this 7 will be written as in terms of binary. So it is what? 1 2 4 8. So 4 5 6 7. So it is 0 1 1 1. So can I say this is a 5-bit representation? 5-bit representation in the binary. So this 0 is this 0, and this 4 bits representation is for 7. Similarly, can I write down for this? 1 will be the 1 as it is, and 11 can be written as 1 2 4 8. So 8 9 10 11. So it is 1 1 1. Yes, 1 0 1 1. So 1 2 4 8 8 9 10 11. Yes, this is right. Then how will you write down for this represent this sequence? So 0 will be there. How will you represent this 10 in 4 bits? So it is 1 2 4 8 8 9 10. So it is 1 0 1 0. Yes, this is how representation. So this is 5-bit representation. This is 5-bit representation for individual run sequence. Okay. Now this is what you have represented. Okay. Now can I say actually these are nothing but the compressed string? How do you say that? To represent this run, okay, how many bits I require? 7 plus 11, 18, 18 plus 10, 28. So can I say 28 bits I require for this? Now after compression, this is in the run length. And how can I say this is a run length? Because you know zeros are continuous for 7. 1 is continuous for 11. 0 is continuous for 10. So can you correlate this thing with the continuous image tone? Continuous image tone. Continuous image tone. You please remember the neighbor pixels. All values are same. Continuous pixels. All values are same. X, current pixel. It may be also same. So can you see all the continuous images? The values will be same. So can I compare that with this run length code? Okay. So I can use this run length code when I'm having a continuous number. Okay. इसके लिए नहीं, I cannot use for this. No. You can see the drastic change. Drastic change. So I cannot use for this. So this is used for this. But for this also we can use the JPEG LS. And that for such type of image we can go with the regular mode. So for such type of numbers, go with the regular mode. And for such type of continuous tone images, go with the run length code or run mode. That is visible on your screen. Run length code. Okay. So 28 bits compressed into. So can I say compressed bits? Compressed bits. 28 has been compressed into how many? 1, 2, 3. 3 5s are 15. So 15 bits. So where is 15 and where is 28? Can you see the difference? So this is how it is reduced from 28 to 15. This is not new. Already we have studied this. This is not new. Already we have studied this. So can I say we are actually implementing the run length code which we have studied in the image, text compression, data compression. That is also implemented in this image compression. Why? Because image is converted into text, ones and zeros. And after you convert, you can use any of the codes. This is encoding method. This is encoding method. Okay. This is encoding method. So this is called as run mode. Okay. So whatever I have explained you, that is able, you will be able to see on the screen. Screen पे क्या बता रहा है? If context suggests that the pixels following the current pixels are likely to be almost identical, near parameters, encode with run mode. देखो सब identical है, encode with run mode. Second वाला क्या बता रहा है? Encoder starts with X and finds the longest run of pixels that are identical to context pixel run. इसका मतलब क्या है? If you see this X ABCD तो हो गया, एनकोड हो गया, उसको कंप्रेशन भी हो गया. X के बाद का YZ जो है रन लेंथ में क्या होगा? जब तक X सपोज X की वैल्यू कंप्रेशन के बाद 1 है तो वो तब तक आगे जाएगा जब तक पूरे 1 नहीं मिलते. वही तो है ना. अब यहाँ पे भी 0 है, मैं 0 कहाँ तक जाऊंगा? जब तक मुझे पूरे 0 नहीं मिलते. मैं अभी यहाँ पे 1 है तो मैं यहाँ पे रुक जाऊंगा. इसको एनकोड कर दूंगा. इसको एनकोड किया मैंने 0 0 1 1 1. इसके बाद मुझे 1 मिला. मैं कब तक भागूंगा? जब तक मेरा 1 मुझे नहीं मिलता. कितने 1 मिले मुझे? 11 1 मिले. तो उसको मैंने एनकोड किया. क्या एनकोड करके क्या मिला? 1 1 0 1 1. यहाँ पे मैं रुक गया, फिर से मुझे 0 मिला, तब तक मैं फिर से भागा. So can I say after X I have to run till I get the same identical pixel values? That is the meaning. Okay. So that is explained here. Second one I am talking about. Encoder starts with X and finds the longest run of pixels that are identical to context pixel A. Okay. Context pixel A, that is the previous one. I'm talking about this. Okay. पहले ये हो गया, ये होने के बाद में ये, उसके बाद में ये. That is the way. That is how it goes. Okay. So run can not go beyond the current row. Length of the run needs to be encoded. Length of the run has to be encoded. ये 07 encoded, 111 encoded, 010 encoded. That is the meaning. So this is about the run length. What is the regular mode now? Regular mode is important. This is also important. ये applicable कहाँ पे होता है? ये टाइप के इसके लिए applicable, जहाँ पे मेरा length run maximum नहीं है. Okay. So see the first line now. If not this one, first line. If not run mode, then regular mode for encoding. The encoder uses context pixel ABC to predict X. Use prediction is equals to A. Now here actually I am predicting the pixel value or the value of X after I encode ABC. it calculates the prediction error, that is x minus a. This is important. I have told you the error. Now, when they are same, the error will be 0, and if they are not same, the error will be minute error. So this is called as prediction error. This is called as, so please pay attention. This is called as, sorry. Yes. Yes. Prediction error. This is more important. Prediction error. मैंने कुछ प्रिडिक्ट किया, वो प्रिडिक्शन मेरा गलत हुआ, तो कुछ एरर आ गया. मैंने कुछ प्रिडिक्ट किया, प्रिडिक्शन बराबर निकला, मेरा एरर 0 हुआ. So that error is given by x minus a. It is given by x minus a. Okay. See here further. This error is then corrected by a term that depends on the context. ये जो error आपने को मिला है ना, that is x minus a. This x minus a. That error is then corrected by a term that depends on the context. By a term. So by a term, some value they have decided some value. Depending upon that term, the error is getting corrected. Okay. और last में देखो क्या लिखा है, 4 pixels of context and prediction error that is previously encoded used for coding with Coulomb coding. So whatever I have told you, that whatever the error you are getting, that is getting corrected by comparing with a term. After comparing the term, then you can code by using the Coulomb coding. So we are not going into the detail of understanding what is Coulomb coding. Okay, just try to understand that error is getting rectified by correcting with the corrected with the term. Okay, that depends upon the context value, and then encoding is done by the Coulomb coding. This is happening in the regular mode. This is happening in the regular mode. Okay, this is happening in the regular mode, and we have seen what is happening in the run mode. Okay, so this is run mode and this is regular mode. Okay, so that is all about the JPEG LS. This is all about the JPEG LS. Okay, this is all about the JPEG LS. I hope you have understood this. Now we can go on to the understanding of JPEG 2000. Let me see how much time is left. Okay, 10:54. 5 minutes are left. So whenever you talk about this JPEG LS, you have understood that we can go with the encoding by either using the regular mode, or you can go with the run length code, depending upon the pixel context pixel values with the neighboring pixel values. Okay, and then it is decided whether you have to go with which one. Okay, now when you talk about the JPEG I will just give an introduction. Okay, then in the detail we'll see in the next class. Okay, so JPEG 2000. JPEG 2000. So whenever you talk about the JPEG 2000, this is also a standard which provides an excellent over the rate of 0.25 bits per pixel. Okay, so whenever you have the bits which is less than 0.25, then you can go with JPEG 2000. It means what? I have talked about the JPEG. Now JPEG, this is the basic JPEG format. This basic JPEG format is good whenever you have the rate of compression 0.25 bits per pixel and above. Okay, whenever you have 0.25 bits per pixel and above, you can go with the JPEG. But if the pixel value, if the number of bits which are less than 0.25, that means I'm talking about the image whose rate is less than 0.25 bits per pixel, then you will have to go with JPEG 2000. You cannot go with this. If you go with this, you will see the distortion in the images. Okay, so JPEG 2000 is preferred whenever you have to go with the compression in which your pixel rate is below 0.25 bits per pixel. Okay, so in that case you have to go with JPEG 2000. Okay, if you do not want to compromise with the quality of the image. Okay, so at lower rates there is a sharp degradation in the quality of the reconstructed image. Okay, so if I go with this and if I am using the JPEG for the rate which is lower than this, then there is a degradation of the image. Degradation of the image while reconstructing the image. So I am not able to reconstruct the original image as it is. There will be the loss in the some of the factors in the image, okay, the data. That's why there is a degradation of the image. So JPEG is not used in such type of compression, okay, where it is less than 0.25. So do not use JPEG for such cases. You go with JPEG 2000. You go with JPEG 2000. Okay. So here, that is why we have, this is a new standard given by International Standard Organization. That is, we have to go with JPEG 2000. Okay. So what is actually happening in the JPEG 2000? You have the block diagram. You have the block diagram. Let me give you the block diagram in short. Okay. The block diagram, you have to compare with the JPEG. You have to compare with the JPEG. What remains the same? So what, where do you see the difference? You will see the difference in, this is my image, the raw image. That image will be converted into color space image. Already I have told you about the color space image. That is RGB. RGB. That has to be converted into some other representation. RGB has to be converted into some other representation. Okay. So that is why color space image. That raw image is converted into color space image, and then as far as JPEG is concerned, by using the color transformation. यहाँ पे मैंने लिखा था ना, color transformation. So can I say RGB is converted into YCBCR as far as JPEG is concerned? Now here we are not converting into YCBCR. We are converted to some other representation. Okay. After that representation, then we are using transform matrix. We are using the transform. In JPEG, we were using DCT, discrete cosine transform. Here we will be using wavelet transform. But this is the difference we have. Only this much is the difference. Other block diagrams will remain the same. Other block diagrams will remain the same. The only change is that we require the representation other than RGB. That is why we go with the color transformation. We will have a color space image. After having this particular representation, then we are using wavelet transform. We are using wavelet transform. So as unlike in the JPEG, as we were using DCT, we were using here wavelet transform. So in the next lecture, I will be talking about into the detail what is a color space image. हमने सिर्फ इतना देखा था कि RGB into YCBR, but what is the drawback by using RGB? We will see. And about the wavelet transform. जैसे हमने DCT देखा था, वैसे we will understand what is wavelet transform. Okay. So that is the agenda for the next lecture: color space image and wavelet transform. And after that, if time permits, we will go with DPCM. Already you must have studied this in the digital communication. Okay, differential pulse code modulation. So this thing we have to study in this particular topic. Okay, so we'll stop for today and we will meet in the next lecture. Priyanka ma'am, she's there.
Yes, sir.
Attendance झाला का?
हो.
झाला ना? Okay. So if
Yes,
anyone,
sir.
if anyone has any question, any queries, you can stay. Others can leave. Thank you.